Hey guys, so we're talking about doing a seminar called Being Genuine. This time we're talking about step 1.4, that is to say, step 4 of part 1. That step, we're calling it consideration. And really what it means is, as you do step 3, which was bring it in, as you bring the information into you, you are going to process it. Now you're processing it as it's coming there. You're going to keep reviewing and processing it every time another piece of information comes in. And this is happening so fast, it's almost happening outside of time, really. It's just like this, and stuff's coming in, words and their eye movements and your reaction to your reaction, and tons of stuff's going on for every communication. As it comes in, you start processing it. And that processing, just to have a word to talk to it, talk about it, we're calling it consideration. And we call it consideration because you're not just taking it in and letting it stick like, a mud pie on a wall. You're really going to process it. You're going to regard it. You're going to think about it. And so you're going to consider it. You're not going to take it necessarily at face value. You're going to try to glean from it, rock from it, what's there, what the truth is. Because as we know, some people are trying to tell you something in an inaccurate way or an almost inaccurate way. They're either telling you a little white lie to assuage your feelings, or they're trying to sell you something, in which case they may be telling you an outright lie. They might be telling you the truth, but they have a bunch of emotional charge on it. Uh, Very few people, honestly, very few people even know how to communicate in a clean manner, let alone do it. And I can honestly say that I'm one of the people that when I'm out there in the world, just doing my thing, volunteering at the TV station or hanging out with my friends, I'm pretty much just a relaxed, wacky kind of guy. I like to do, this is all an aside, of course, it doesn't have to do with consideration much, but maybe there's something in here of value. I like to, do voices and imitations of people and quote movies, and I don't do a serious thing like we're doing in this class where you start to talk and all of a sudden I start breathing differently and I take a certain posture and all that stuff. But guess what? In my mind, I'm doing that. I'm visualizing doing that. I'm visualizing myself doing that. And by virtue, this is an important point, which, we do make in various classes. By visualizing doing that, I'm doing it. I'm doing it at the same time. Now, this idea goes way beyond the scope of this class here about being genuine. This idea of doing something by visualization, what in the 70s we used to call running the movie of it, really helps you get whatever's going on. So in our case, the consideration thing, running a movie of considering it, that really helps. And an old example of this, from probably the 70s or 80s, was when people who were training for the Olympics started utilizing visualization in a big way. I think it was maybe a basketball team, but I don't remember. Their performance went way up, way up. So, I like to talk about visualization a lot. I think it's a very valuable tool that we can use at times when we cannot outwardly do something. We can process things and even really experiment with things through visualization. There's even a thing in science now in the like things beyond quantum physics, which I can't remember what those things are called, where they run experiments, but the experiments are so intricate and so advanced, we are nowhere near having the equipment to physically run the experiments. They run kinds of experiments called thought experiments. These are valid scientific experiments, and I'm sure they put some caveats on it, but they're called thought experiments. So that's probably more than you ever wanted to know about how to consider how to consider what someone is doing. You can see why I teach this class. There's a lot more to communication than people ever imagined. All right, kids. Let's look at the next one to see. It's always nice to look at the next one and see what's up. What are we gonna do next? Let's look first before I stop. All right, what do we got? We have something called decisions. Decisions. Okay. And the next thing is decisions is part 5 of step 1. And at least the way it's written these days, that thing called decisions is the last one, unless, of course, I change my mind in the next few minutes. In a few minutes. Bye bye.